we started discussing about electric field. We discussed what is an electric field, and we derived a formulas regarding intensity of an electric field, and we derived a formula for what we call electric field due to charged circular ring also. So what the fundamental thing we need to remember here is, whenever or wherever you want to find the intensity of an electric field, there we need to imagine one unit positive charge. So electric field is a vector quantity. Since it is a vector quantity, in order to get the resultant electric field, we need to follow the rules of vector addition. For example, here three charges are there called as a Q1, Q2, Q3. Because of these three charges, what will be the electric field at this particular point? So at this point, there will be three electric fields. One is because of Q1, other is because of Q2, one more is because of Q3. Then because of Q1, the electric field is E1. Because of Q2, the electric field is E2. Because of Q3, the electric field is E3. Like that, three electric fields will act at point P. Then how to find the value of E1, E2, E3? Yesterday that we discussed that wherever or whenever you want to find, we need to imagine one unit positive charge. Between these two, this is positive and this is positive, repulsive electric intensity. This is positive, repulsive. This is positive, repulsive. In order to find the E1, E2, E3 values, we'll take the help of this formula, what we derived yesterday, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Instead of Q, here I will take Q1. Instead of R, I will take R1. In this case, R2. In this case, R3. Then what will be the, at P, how many electric fields are acting? Three electric fields are acting, E1, E2, E3. As we know, electric field is a vector quantity. So the resultant electric field, E bar is equal to E1 bar plus E2 bar plus E3 bar. Like that, we can go with an laws of vector addition in order to find the resultant electric intensity. So what are the formulas we derived in case of the force? The same formulas we can implement here also. I hope in case of the forces, we derived one formula. That formula is find the position of a null point. Find the position of a null point. Find the position of a null point. So here, what is the null point? Null point is nothing but the point where the resultant electric intensity is zero. The point where the resultant electric intensity is zero. For example, case 1 I am calling, it is like charges. Like charges. So here, I am considering two charges. One is Q1, other one is Q2. These two charges initially separated by a distance R. Now I would like to find the position of a point where the resultant electric intensity is zero. So here I am considering that point is in between these two. That point is in between these two. So here, how many electric intensities will act, or how many electric fields will act? Two electric fields will act. One is because of Q1, other is because of Q2. So wherever or whenever you want to find the electric intensity, there we need to imagine one unit positive charge. So here I am imagining one unit positive charge. So this is positive and this is positive repulsive electric intensity, where E1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here Q is nothing but a Q1. If this point is at a distance of x from Q1, if this point is at a distance of x from Q1, Q1 x square. Similarly, because of this charge Q2, one more electric intensity will act. This is positive and this is positive. There will be again electric intensity will act like this. E2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by this distance I should take now, this distance. So which is equal to R minus X whole square. E2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by R minus X whole square. Now, what is the significance of this point? This is the point where the resultant electric intensity is 0. Here the electric intensity is 0. But here how many electric intensities are acting? One is E1 and one is E2. When that resultant will be 0 if both are acting in opposite direction. So, since point P, or since at P net electric field is 0, since at P net electric field is 0, now when it will be possible if E1 is equal to E2, because both are acting in opposite direction. E1 is equal to E2 is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by x square is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by R minus x whole square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught get cancels. Then R minus x by x whole square is equal to Q2 by Q1. Take the square root on both sides. R minus x by x is equal to square root of Q2 by Q1. R by x minus 1 is equal to square root of Q2 by Q1. R by x is equal to square root of Q2 by Q1. If this minus 1 goes that side, it will be plus 1. Then x is equal to R divided by Q2 by Q1 plus 1. The same formula we derived in case of forces also. The same formula we derived in case of the forces also. That's why what I mean here is, whatever the formulas we used to find the resultant force, the same formulas we can use here also, but only the difference is, in case of forces we'll get two charges, here we'll get one charge, that's all. Similarly, in case of unlike charges, Case 2. Unlike charges. Unlike charges. So here I am taking two charges, Q1 and Q2, but these two are not like charges, these two are unlike charges. They are separated by a distance r. They are separated by a distance r. Then where the point, the resultant electric intensity will be 0. Where that point will be located? Will it be located between these two, or will it be located outside of these two? That question arises. For example, or for convenience, if you take, that is located between these two, Tagandre, between these two. So here I would like to find the net electric field. So here I need to imagine one unit positive charge. Then what will happen? This is positive and this is positive. The electric intensity E1 will act like this. Because of this charge, one more electric field will act. This is negative and this is positive. So there will be an attractive. So in this direction only the E2 will act. Now at this point, both E1 and E2 are acting in the same direction. Then is there any chance to get the net electric field is 0 here? No. Because both are acting in the same direction. What will be the resultant electric field at this point now? Sum of these two, E1 plus E2, because of the same direction. That's why the point what we'll consider, that point will not be between these two, the point will be outside of these two. The point will be outside of these two. In case of forces also we discussed the same. Outside means either this side or that side. That question arises. Is it nearer to Q1 na, nearer to Q2 na? Preferably you take the nearer to the smaller charge. Nearer to the smaller charge, irrespective of its nature. Irrespective of its nature, you take the nearer to the smaller charge. For example, Q1 is equal to 2 coulomb. Q2 is equal to minus 3 coulomb, for example. Then among these two, which one is smaller? 2 is smaller, because Q2 is 3. Minus represents only its nature. That's why, irrespective of its nature, which is the smaller one among those two, Q1 and Q2, which one is the smaller? You take the point nearer to that. So here I am considering Q1 is smaller. Since Q1 is smaller, I am taking the point P, which is nearer to the Q1. Which is nearer to the Q1. Now, how many electric intensities will act here? How many electric fields will act at the point P? 2 electric intensities. One is because of Q1, other is because of minus Q2. Because of Q1, the electric intensity is E1. So here again, to get the direction of that electric field or electric intensity, we need to imagine one unit positive charge. So wherever or whenever you want to find the electric intensity, there we need to imagine one unit positive charge. So here this is positive, this is positive, positive and positive repulsive. So in this direction, the E1 will act. What is the formula for E1 now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Because of this Q1, distance is x, Q1 by x square. Next, because of this minus Q2, one more electric intensity will act at P. This is negative and this is positive. So there will be an attraction. So the electric intensity E2 will act like this. E2 will act like this. Now E2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by, what is this distance? Q2 by E distance tagabeko. From Q2 to P, what is the distance? R plus X. But here I am saying not necessary to take the minus symbol. Not necessary to take the minus symbol. Why? Because not necessary. Not necessary to take the minus symbol here. So why we need not necessary to take the minus symbol here? Because of this minus only we got this direction. Already we used the minus symbol in terms of a direction. That's why I will go with Q2 by R plus X whole square. Since at P the net electric field is 0, when it will be possible if E1 is equal to E2. Why? Because both are acting in opposite direction. E1 is equal to E2. So 1 by 4 pi is similar. Instead of minus here, I will take plus. 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 Minus here. Already these formulas we derived. In case of Coulomb's force. Next one. Two charges, two similar like charges. Next case. Two similar like charges are placed at the two vertices, are placed at the two vertices of an equilateral triangle. Two vertices of an equilateral triangle of side A. Equilateral triangle of side A. Full stop. The net electric field at the third vertex, the net electric field at the third vertex of an equilateral triangle is, third vertex of a triangle is, the third vertex of a triangle is Now this is one beautiful equilateral triangle of side A. Now two similar like charges called Q and Q are placed at the two vertices of a triangle. Then what will be the resultant electric intensity at the third vertex? At the third vertex of a triangle. So at this point, I would like to find the resultant electric intensity. So wherever you want to find the electric intensity, there we need to imagine one unit positive charge. Very good. Now, because of this, one electric intensity will act. Because of this, one more electric intensity will act. Because of this, what is an electric intensity will act here, or electric field act here. So this is positive and this is positive. The E will act like this. What is the formula to find out E? Is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. The charge is Q here, and the distance of this point from the charge is A, Q by A square. Similarly, because of this charge, one more electric intensity will act. If it is an E1, for convenience if I take, because of this I am calling it as an E2. Now this is positive and this is also positive. Again the direction of electric intensity will be like this, E2. E2 is the electric intensity acting at this point due to this charge Q. What is E2 now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A square only here also. Q by, because equilateral triangle. So from these two equations, I will write E1 is equal to E2. Now to get the resultant of E1 and E2, because E1 and E2 are separated by a certain angle, then we need to construct a beautiful parallelogram. The diagonal of the parallelogram. The diagonal of the parallelogram will give the electric intensity, resultant electric intensity. So you need to apply a parallelogram law here. That is R is equal to square root of P square plus Q square, our formula. So based on that, the resultant electric intensity E is equal to E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos theta under root square root of E1 square plus E2 square, that is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. We know that E1 is equal to E2. Since E1 is equal to E2, E1 square, instead of E2 also I will take E1 plus E1 into E1, 2E1 square cos theta is the angle between E1 and E2. Since it is an equilateral triangle, this angle is 60. So these two are vertically opposite angles. Therefore, theta value will be also 60, cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 and 2 get cancels. E1 square plus E1 square plus E1 square. 3E1 square, which is equal to root 3E1. What is E1 value here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by therefore E is equal to root 3 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by a square. Already same formula we derived in case of forces. Same procedure. Next case. 2 TWO2. Next case. 2 equal and unlike charges. 2 equal and unlike charges are placed at the two vertices of an equilateral triangle of side A. Full stop. The net electric intensity at the third vertex is so again the same method. Here I am considering two equal and unlike charges. One is plus q and one is minus q. Then what is the resultant electric intensity at this vertex? Here I would like to find the resultant electric field. So we are imagining one unit positive charge at that vertex. Then this is positive and this is positive. There will be a repulsive. E1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by a square. Because of this charge minus q, one more electric intensity will act. This is positive and this is negative. So attraction E2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by a square only. Again, I'm saying we should not take minus q here. Why? Because already this minus symbol we used in terms of direction. Because of this minus symbol only we got the direction like this. Okay, from these two equations, E1 is equal to E2. These two are separated by a certain angle theta. In order to get the resultant of these two, we have to construct a beautiful parallelogram. This is one parallelogram. The diagonal of the parallelogram will give the resultant of these two. The diagonal of the parallelogram will give the resultant of these two. Therefore, E is equal to E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos theta. E1 square plus E1 square plus 2E1 square theta value. So what is the value of theta here? This is theta. So total angle is 180. In this is 60. The remaining 120 will be the theta value. Cos 120. Cos 120 is equal to minus 1 by 2. So we'll get here E1 square, which is equal to E1 So the resultant electric intensity is equal to E1, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A square. Next case. 4 equal charges, 4 equal charges are placed at the three vertices, sorry, at the four vertices, at the four vertices of a square, at the four vertices of a square of side A, of side A. The net electric intensity, the net electric intensity at the center of the square is, the net electric intensity at the center of the square is, at the center of the square is. If you draw the diagram clearly, then almost half of the problem is finished. Now I am drawing a square of side A. Four charges Q, 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 Q are placed at the four vertices of a square. I would like to find the resultant electric intensity. The resultant electric intensity at the center of the square. Illi. At the center of the square or point of intersection of the diagonals. So wherever we want to find the electric intensity, there we need to imagine one unit positive charge. So here I am imagining one unit positive charge. How many electric intensities will act? How many electric intensities will act? At this point, 4 electric intensities will act. One is because of this, other is because of this, because of this, because of this. Now this is positive and this is positive. Very good. The electric intensity will act like this. E1. Here, this is positive and this is positive because of this. This is positive and this is positive. E2. This is positive, this is positive. E3. This is positive, this is positive. E4. Like this, 4 electric intensities will act at the center. Whereas, to find the E value, this is the formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A square. A is nothing but distance. In all the 4 cases, the charge is same. Q is same. in all the four cases, this distance is also same, E distance, because it is the center point. So that center will be equidistant to all the corners. E distance, E distance, E distance, E distance same. So in all the four cases, the charge is constant, charge is same, and the distance is also same. Definitely I can write E1 is equal to E2 is equal to E3 is equal to E4. E1 is equal to E2 is equal to E3 is equal to E4. All electric intensities are same. Here I would like to find the resultant of all the four. If I go with these two, E1 and E3, so both having the same magnitude and opposite direction. So the resultant electric field at this point because of these two will be 0. If I go with these two, E2 and E4, again these two are same magnitude but opposite direction. So the resultant electric field at this point due to these two will be also 0. Because of these two is 0, because of these two is also 0. Then what will be the resultant electric intensity at the center? 0. What is the resultant electric intensity at the center now? 0. Charges and field. So like that, whatever the method we followed while finding the net force, the same method will adopt here also. Okay. Next thing is, there will be a force of attraction or repulsion between the charges. For example, if I take any charge, what is an electric field now? What is an electric field? The space around the charge where its influence is felt. The space around the charge where its influence is felt is called as an electric field. Here, up to this, how the effect of this charge will be travels. How the effect of the charge will travels up to this point. For example, if I am speaking, so my voice is traveling in the form of a wave, sound wave. In the same manner, how the electric field will be travels up to here. So there we have to discuss about electric line of forces. So what do you mean by this electric line of forces or electric field lines? Very important. Electric line of forces or electric field lines. Electric field lines. So the electric field will travel from one place to another place. Electric field will approach us to certain point in the form of electric line of forces or electric field lines. So the properties of an electric line of forces is very important as far PUC is concerned. He will ask either for 2 marks or 3 marks. Write any 3 properties of an electric line of forces, or write any 2 properties of an electric line of forces. First point. Electric line of force is an imaginary line. Electric line of force is an imaginary line on which the unit positive charge is supposed to be moved. Electric line of force is an imaginary line in which the unit positive charge is supposed to be moved. So it is an just imaginary line. To analyze the electric field transverse, I mean to say how the electric field is traveling, to analyze it, we'll take the help of electric line of forces. So here electric field lines are imaginary lines. We cannot see those. But we'll take the help of electric line of forces to analyze the electric field, how it is traveling from one place to other place. Okay. So electric line of force is an imaginary line in which a unit positive charge is supposed to be moved. The electric line of force always starts from positive charge and ends with negative charge. Electric line of force always starts from positive charge and ends with negative charge. It follows a parabolic path. It follows a parabolic path. Electric line of force follows the parabolic path. So here the electric line of force is there. So here I would like to say one thing. Wherever the electric line of forces are present, there will be an electric field. Or whenever somebody is saying some electric field is there here, that is nothing but that space is fully occupied by electric line of forces. So whenever the electric field is existing is nothing but there will be an electric line of forces. Okay. Now, how those travel electric line of forces is, it will always travel from positive to negative. It follows a parabolic path. It follows a parabolic path. Next case. So what I am saying, it is a imaginary line in which a unit positive charge is supposed to be moved. So here there is an electric field now. If you want to get the direction of electric field, as we know, in a curved path, in a circular path, whenever you want to get the direction of a particle, any particle, what we'll do? We'll take the help of one tangent. Here is also, if I want to get the direction of electric field at this particular point, we'll draw one tangent. If you want to get the direction of electric field at this particular point, we'll draw one tangent. Okay? The tangent drawn at any point, in an electric line of force, will give the direction of electric field will give the direction of electric field at that particular point. Will give the direction of electric field at that particular point. So if anybody asks what is the direction of electric field at a particular point, then immediately we have to draw one tangent here. The tangent drawn at any point in an electric line of forces will give the direction of electric field at that point. Still few more properties are there. We'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you.